look at me, let me look at you. You're not gonna do this forever. It's just using this as a stepping stone. Most times, most of us, the only thing we need is just something to just enter the country. When we enter, and then it's not as if we're going to do, you understand? So most times we're just using this as a stepping stone. Like most people that are going to apply are just going to use this as a stepping stone. So when you know you're using that as a stepping stone or not, so make sure to put in your best as if you're applying for a life. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Do you actually need any health experience, any health qualifications? The answer is yes and no. All those, especially all those old mama nurse, but don't go to some frustrated old mama nurse. They are angry. They will not be happy that you want to travel. But something is, you can actually lie to them. So fam, I'm actually sure that you've actually seen, it's all over the news, that the UK government is actually recruiting healthcare assistants, senior health workers, carers, supporters. This one, they're just giving plenty English to it. Love of Osha in one short form. They are recruiting healthcare assistants with little or no experience, no healthcare background, no anything. And really, that's actually the good and juicy things out of it, especially my fellow Nigerians that have been looking for opportunities to jackpot. So this is another way for you to jackpot. But then let me now bust your bubble. It's not as easy as you think, because the UK government is just giving just 12 months. That is just 1 year. 12 months for this recruitment plan and every other thing. So what do you think is gonna happen? Do you think you're the only one that want to jackpot? Do you think it's only your fellow Nigerians that want to jackpot? Oh, you know that almost everybody, they just want to leave the comfort of their country and just travel out. So if you know you want to be among those lucky ones that they are gonna select their application of jackpotting. Sorry, in Nigeria, jackpot means leaving the country in a okay. So if you shall know that you're one of those that you actually want your application to be successful, regardless of what any other person submits, make sure to watch this video to the end. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your home girl Ashedemis, and of course you're watching Jackpot with Ashedemis. So far today we'll be talking about the new blah 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 from UK recruiting healthcare assistant, and the juicy part of it, I've actually spilled some of it. So firstly, let's talk about what's the definition. Some of you, we have some of you that don't even do we have some of you that does not even have a science background, and you feel like, what is this healthcare assistant, or is this supporter, what is it, what does it entail? I'm just going to use a very, very layman's language for you. So healthcare assistant, supporter, carer, and everything is just a modified English way. Let me be sincere with you. Forget English. Let's be sincere with ourselves. It's just a modified package, and you know, like when this is what they mean, but they're trying to package it and make it look like one very huge something in a layman's language. They're just trying to look for, what they are looking for is a house help, a form of an health help. You know what an house help does? So instead of that house help, now we play that house with health help. That is exactly what it means. This is not me trying to ridicule the job, ridicule the offer and everything, but let's be sincere with each other. Let's be sincere with each other. If you think you're just gonna go there and behaving like one shaman, like you have arrived, it's your country and everything, my dears, Bagbarale, you're just a but it's not so bad, it's not too bad. But this is me really just telling you that because there are some things you might actually be subjected to that maybe you don't do in your home country, or you're better off doing, or nobody will actually tell you to do in your home country. You might actually do it there. You understand? So if you know that, anyways, I'm making a separate video on that. If you know you are this type of person, not to apply for it. Anyways, don't let me bore you sharp, but healthcare assistant is just equivalent to just replace the house with health help. So this healthcare, where, and again, it's depending on your employer, depending on the city you're employed, depending on so many other things. So this healthcare assistant, they actually support a patient, help a patient. They can actually help to carry out first aid treatment before the ambulance comes, or even when the ambulance is there, you can even work with emergency department. Like sometimes maybe when you call the ambulance, kinikon, all those extra person that used to be there that are not really medical, or maybe they are not nurse, they are not this thing, something like that. That's why I say, depending on your recruiter, depending on the person that employs you, depending on the state you are, so your own might not be as, maybe I don't know how to use that English, might not be as this thing as somebody else. So depending, just like when we have two people, maybe when you go to a supermarket, you see a sales rep, you go to another supermarket, you see a sales rep, and so let's assume you go to a supermarket A and a supermarket B. When you're in supermarket A, the way the employer or the boss of supermarket A was actually maltreating the salesperson, shouting at her, telling her to do this and everything, then you go to supermarket B. Instead of one person to arrange one place, like two people is arranging that same small place, something like that. So it can actually be depending on your recruiter, depending on your employer, depending on the state that you are, depending on so many things. But basically that's what you expect. So now you already know what a healthcare assistant does. You can support your patient, you can support patients in mental homes, like some of the patients that we have all these older patients, like for example some of these older patients or older parents that they cannot stay alone at home, and they have grown-ups that maybe they are outside the country or anywhere else, or they are busy with work, they need somebody to stay with their old ones. And mental patients, as we grow older, as our parents grow older, like as we grow older, our brains start deteriorating. So most of these old people, they actually start having this kind of mental, some are depressed, some are lonely, some are this, some are that. So you might actually find yourself there in nursing home, trying to care for them, trying to support them, trying to like do so many things, assist them with using the bedroom, doing this one, doing that one, so many things like that. And you can actually find yourself doing some of this medical, this first aid for some of the patients, like that, sha. So after that being said and done, so what are the basic requirements? What are the requirements that's actually needed in the UK? So as I said, the juicy part of this job description is the fact that you can use your minimalist, which is your school leaving certificate, also known as the RQF level 3, which is equivalent to A levels, your WAEC certificate, your NECO certificate. But I actually prefer WAEC because WAEC is actually Western African. That one is most generally known, but you can still use your WAEC. You can use your A level, like if you have Cambridge, if you have JUPEB, which other A level is there? Which other A levels? So if you shall have any A levels, and another thing. So this is just me saying this is the minimum qualification, but it is not compulsory, it is still optional. And then if you're actually a graduate, you can still apply. You understand? So if you apply, if you have a bachelor's degree, even if you have master's degree and you actually apply, this is just to actually, this one will actually help to actually boost your chances of actually getting this job. Because even me, no matter how useless the work is or anything, if I'm an employer and I'm looking for somebody that want to come and stretch my leg, I see somebody that apply with masters, somebody that apply with bachelor, somebody that apply with work. Which one will I first pick? The one with masters now. Me, I feel like the person has more say. So the higher your educational qualification, the higher your chances of actually getting the job. So all the qualifications that you think you have, all the experience that you think you have, that's why I said your CV is the one to actually sell you out without your presence, to actually make you feel like this guy is capable. So most times don't even feel like because the work is this, because the work is that. No, you just use your WAEC, or you just use your O level, you just use your A level. Any qualification that you have, include it. It can actually boost your chances. Between me and you, it's not as if you're going to do this work for a long period of time, though you actually be signing contract, but then it's just like you're using it as a stepping stone. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Let's be sincere. Look at me, let me look at you. You're not gonna do this forever. It's just using this as a stepping stone. Most times, most of us, the only thing we need is just something to just enter the country. When we enter, and then It's not as if we are going to do, you understand? So most times we're just using this as a stepping stone. Like most people that are going to apply are just going to use this as a stepping stone. So when you know you're using it as a stepping stone or not, so make sure to put in your best as if you're applying for a life. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So another thing, so if you see me looking at my book, just are things I wrote down for my friends in UK that I called and I tried to make inquiries from, and my friend that actually works in the immigration office. So we've talked about the educational requirements. Then another educational requirement is your IELTS or TOEFL. This is still optional. But as I told you, it's a medium of you selling yourself. But even the IELTS requirement that the UK government requires is just 4.5. It's 4 to 4.5, something like that. So from my experience, though I've not really written IELTS before, but I've had friends that have written it over and over again and every other thing. So 4 to 4.5 or 5 is the lowest. Even if you don't know English, if you don't know, even if you are that worse, you're going to like 4 or 4.5. That one should not be hard for you, though it is still optional. But you guys all know that applying for things like this skill most times is actually based on point. So maybe when they want to point it, and maybe they will say, okay, this one, what does she have? This one, they will give maybe 2 marks. This one, then they will calculate it and see if you actually qualify for this or not. So if you write their IELTS, it's just a way of you boosting it, especially if the highest educational qualification you have is your A levels. If you still have bachelor's degree or master's degree, that one is enough to actually prove that okay, you understand English, you know what you're saying. But if you have if your maximum the highest educational qualification you have is actually your WAEC result or your A levels. But if it was Cambridge, I'm not sure you need to write IELTS because Cambridge itself now, you understand. But if it's something like WAEC, unless you have a higher credit in your WAEC score, maybe in your English you have like a B or a C. You can use that. But I would actually advise you actually write this IELTS, and they're actually looking for the lowest one. This is actually just to actually boost your chances of actually getting this job. I hope you understand that. So if you have your bachelor's, you have your master's, you have anything, you can still write the IELTS. So it's boosting your CV, it's boosting. That's why I told you, anything that you have that you can think of, add it to the CV, package everything. I did this one. So it's giving you more chances. And of course, so another thing that you actually need is, we've talked about educational qualification and we think about the health requirements. Do you actually need any health requirements? This AC is getting too I'm inside my own UK. So for the health requirement, you actually need any health experience, any health qualifications. The answer is yes and no. The answer is no, because no qualification is required. And something about jobs, about abroad job, I'm not talking about Africa. It's only African that they expect you to have 1 million years of experience. Even if you have, though UK, even outside the country, abroad jobs, they expect you to actually have experience. But even at that, no matter the experience you have, when you actually get it, because Nigeria healthcare system is different from UK healthcare system, different from US healthcare system. That's why anywhere you're migrating to, you find yourself writing their exams and everything to test you and see where their practicals and every other thing like that. So no matter anywhere you migrate to, they will still teach you what they want you to know. They will still teach you this is how it is done. You know that in Africa, if you're in Nigeria, how many equipment do we have? So maybe the ones you know, the one that you are used to, maybe to do CPR for somebody is the mouth one that you have. In UK, they have this small this thing that they used to use. So something like that, you know, all those basic things, you understand? So there's no how the watches is train you. So that is the no part of it. But the yes part of it is, as I said, anything that will boost your CV. So some agencies, just like, because this thing is just like a 12 months recruitment, a lot of people are really going to be applying. So if you actually want to boost your chances, it is very important you actually have experience. If you don't have experience, relax. You don't have to kill yourself and say, I don't have experience, what am I going to do? No, there's something you can do. Calm down, there's something you can do. So if you don't have any health experience, any health assistant, or what you can do is you can go to the hospital. So aside going to the hospital, if you know you're an auxiliary nurse, you've worked in the hospital settings before, you've worked close to, even in the hospitality department, even in hotel, even in this thing, they are still close to hospitality, can they shall add it to your CV. But to get normal health this thing, auxiliary nurse, you can apply. If you're a nurse, like you're a registered nurse, you're a normal nurse, like you just have your certificate in the house, you're not doing anything, you can still apply. But for the experience part, you can just go to a nearby hospital and just tell them you actually want to work as an healthcare assistant and everything, but like just want to work as an healthcare assistant. Them they will be happy. And most times private university, private hospital, but you can't. But actually advise government hospital, because sometimes your employer might actually want to verify the names of this hospital and everything. So if it's actually coming from a government hospital, they will actually believe it more. So you can just go and meet that auntie nurse that you know, that uncle nurse, that nurse that you come and treat you inside your house, that nurse that used to come and say, "Kenny, auntie, please, I just want to learn it." So for those that actually want to get the experience, the minimum hours of experience that you need is 300 to 400 hours. 300 hours. So you can get this less than 6 months, less than 3 months, depending on how dedicated you are. And this one does not mean that you should quit your current job. You can be doing your current job and still be going for this practice. You can be doing your current job, maybe when you close by 4, you rest till 5 to 8, then you can do overnight, and depending on how desperate you are that you really want to get this. And mind you, that is why I actually told you to go to a government work, because no matter the experience you say you've claimed, it's not by amount. You actually need to get a reference, because when you get there and you feel like I'm not doing anything, they'll come out with your reference. So that's why I actually advise a government hospital, so that even if your reference is coming, to come with maybe Federal Medical Center, something state hospital, something, but that one does not rule out private hospitals, because private hospital will actually be the easiest for you, something like that. But I actually advise private hospital, because I actually advise government hospital, because you'll be open to a lot of departments, and that one to actually boost your CV. You tell them you work in ICU. I'm not sure they will allow you to ICU, but you can just do the basic things in the ICU. You can tell them you work in the emergency department, the midwifery department. You know, this is I'm talking about Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria, it's easy to say auntie, that kind of thing. Like, you can just do basic things. You can. It's a way and avenue of you just advertising yourself. Like when you go to when you actually do this, your experience in government hospital, you'll be open to so many departments, oncology, this one, that one, like you'll be free to like do so many things. So when you're actually writing your CV, you can say you did 100 hours in general ward, 100 hours in emergency ward, 100 hours in ICU. You say you did 50 hours in neonatal ward, 50 hours in like so many departments. That one will actually at least boost your CV than somebody that actually did all the hours in general ward. It will actually boost your CV better than somebody that did all the hours in neonatal ward or all the hours in midwifery. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So, but you can get under private hospitals that they have so many departments, but I actually prefer a government hospital, because for verification's sake, especially if you are coming from Nigeria, from Africa, they know that we scam a lot and everything. So I actually prefer that. So see that auntie nurse, you can actually approach your mom, your dad, most of them, they used to have all these nurses friends in their hospital. And sometimes it might not be free, it might be free. Like me, I have a nurse in my family, so if I just call her, auntie, oh wow, what am I paying? It's just for me to be following her up and down, using her, that kind of thing. So you might just pay small money. You can pay 10,000, you can pay 30,000, but anything you're doing, make sure that the MD, sorry, CMD, good, medical director, yeah, it used to have one name, CMD, like the CMD, chief medical director of the hospital. It is aware, not like it's a link between you and the nurse. Don't go and meet the nurse. We are not working under the nurse. You're working in the hospital. So when you're getting your reference from the CMD. When you're getting your reference, it will have the letterhead of the hospital, it will have the stamp of the hospital. Do you guys understand my English? The fact that I told you to go and meet a nurse does not mean it's the nurse that will give you the your reference letter. It's actually better if it actually comes from a CMD. That's why I actually advise government hospital. A nurse can give you, but I told you, you're selling your CV, you're boosting yourself. It's better it actually comes from the CMD himself. So what I said is better when you know a nurse, when you go and meet a nurse that, auntie nurse, I want to practice for some time and healthcare assistant clinical. It's easier for that auntie nurse to carry you to the CMD. You understand? Especially if the auntie nurse is party to the CMD and say, party CMD, see this my pikin, see this my daughter. You see all those, especially all those old mama nurse, but don't go to some frustrated old mama nurse. They are angry. They will not be happy that you want to travel. But something is, you can actually lie to them. You can lie to them that you actually need it in your workplace, you need it in your home country. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Especially if you are from Africa, don't tell them you need it to travel out. Mostly if you tell them you need to travel, they'll be, so now they have you travel. They say space no day. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Especially in Nigeria, these people, they are very, very angry with somebody. Even when I came back to Nigeria, for me to do a hospital party, I did like this. So you might just lie to them that you need it in your current work of place, that they actually need, or they want to open an hospitality something. Just look for one lie that will make sense. What did I say? Lie that will make sense. But then if you feel like the auntie nurse is not the type of person that used to beef somebody, you can actually open up to that. But I am just saying, I'm sure that if you see somebody, you know somebody that will beef somebody and somebody that will not beef you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Just use your sense, use your numbers. So after getting that, what else? After, when you finish, depending on when you can finish in 1 month, 2 months, depending on how consistent and how anything you are doing. When you're done, you collect your reference from the hospital, and when you're collecting your reference, I'm sure that the doctor or the CMD or even the nurse might actually want to ask you, who should they address it to? Don't address it to anybody, just say to whom it may concern, and you can actually say they should address it to UK. But that one, I'm not sure. I have to confirm. But most times it's always to whom it may confirm, to whom it may concern. Don't put any school or anything. Just put to whom it may concern. Hope you understand. Thank you. So to whom it may concern means it concerns everybody, it concerns anybody, it doesn't have to be this, especially if you're trying to hide yourself that. So next is another requirement that you need is actually your police clearance. So I've talked about that in my previous video, cost of police clearance, how you can get it and everything. Make sure to check the link in that one. I talked about cost of your visa application. So this one is just to be sure that you'll be taking care of vulnerable people, to show that you have common sense, you've not been arrested, you are not an ex-convict, and to be sure that everything is well with you. That kind of thing. I'm just police clearance to be sure that you are actually not a criminal, or you don't have any criminal record. The next one on this is tuberculosis test. I talked about that one too in the same video. I talked about the cost and everything. So in any country you're staying more than 6 months or so, you have to do tuberculosis test. And the next one, of course, is your passport photograph, your international passport. Make sure to check that video, link in the description box, where I've talked about cost of everything. Like I talked about cost of actually relocating out of Nigeria, the basic cost. You see the prices of all these things, your passport, international passport, everything there. Then another one is cost of training. And everything. So visa, everything, any other thing that you need is actually in that video. So those are those things that you actually need to migrate into UK. So what else do you need? Can you see how very, very simple it is? So even if you know you don't have anything, you can still apply, but your chances of getting the job is as slim as one strand of my hair. So you doing other things is just for all other things being equal, just to it's just as if you're going on a competition for them to pick you and everything. So family, then another one that you need, last but not the least, is certificate of sponsorship. So after you've fulfilled all this righteousness, certificate of sponsorship, and that one you can get it directly through the care home or through the agency. So my next video will actually be on mentioning list of care homes you can actually apply to for this recruitment process. So guys, this will bring us to the end of today's video. If you like and enjoyed today's video, thanks for watching. Give me a thumb up and see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. So guys, let me know how the process is going. If you have any confusion, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. So guys,